You either know this game, or you don't. Welcome to Miscreated, a game that has been in development for many years, being one of the few early access games I've actually been following since its conception. It's a multiplayer online hardcore survival game set in a post-apocalyptic future. You will need to survive against mutants, players, and even Mother Nature herself. That's the basic premise, and it delivers on all of those accounts. So why talk about the game now? Well, it's finally entering beta, and with that being said, there will be a massive collection of updates that will improve the game significantly, one of which being the ability to host your own server, something that I'm particularly excited about because it means private matches with groups of friends, or to make short cinematic movies in without being shot in the head constantly. The team have been teasing about the 1.0 release for a while now, with little sneak peeks as to what's going to come. Like I said, self-hosted servers, over 20 new weapons, over 100 new skins, new underground bunkers, new and improved weather patterns, exhaustive temperature systems, new unique map areas, new base building parts, farming system, interactive world, enhanced survival mechanics, supply power to houses, 100% finished map, more immersive audio, new AI, extended consumable systems, and 100% of the bug fixes and quality of life improvements. And personally, I feel like they've decided to go about the release of this in a really great way. They've been building up hype, they've been cutting off the updates until the big one on December the 18th, and getting ready for launch. So the question on my mind is that, considering the disaster of DayZ standalone and the influx and the oversaturation of survival games on the market, is Miscreated going to breathe some new life into the genre? The problem is, it's a very difficult question to answer, mainly because this genre is so specific. These kind of games are slow paced. You can walk around for sometimes hours without seeing another player. You can spend hours looting houses and searching for weapons you might never get. You could wander all the way to the city just to get shot the moment you walk in. This genre only attracts a small hardcore player base that's very niche. But the attraction for me to these kind of games is the knowledge that any minute, everything can change. There is a constant tension that builds with every moment. The more gear you get, the more you want to keep it, the more careful you are with what you do and the decisions you make. There are moments when you'll have to stay holding off an apartment block as a group of well-armed players try to shoot you out, throwing Molotovs through the windows and trying to burn down the actual building. There are moments when you lie in the tall grasses waiting for a group to pass you by, knowing you're outnumbered and hoping they don't see you. There are moments when you take a jerry can and create a booby trap on the road for passerbys. There are moments when you're up against another player, barrels pointed at one another, not knowing if the other one has a loaded gun or is just bluffing. These are the kind of moments that you just cannot replicate in any other game genre. The tension and the excitement of knowing things can change so quickly, for better or for worse, is what gives Miscreated its addictive edge despite its very slow pacing as a video game. Now, there are some low points to the game, of course, that I want to talk about. Firstly, on the visual side, everything looks great, but the animations are generally pretty bad in terms of fitting into the realistic environment, along with the draw distance, which could be improved quite a lot, but I think that will all be dealt with in 1.0, or at least I hope it will be. From a gameplay point of view, like I said, it can be very slow. You can either find a weapon in the first few minutes or not at all. Even when you do find one, you may not even find the right ammo for it, which can be very frustrating. There also are a few technical problems in terms of server desynchronization and bullets not quite hitting the right target, and the gunplay can feel a little bit off, but I have a feeling all of that will be dealt with in 1.0 with the quality of life improvements. I think where the game really excels though is when you play with friends. I have never played Miscreated solo, largely because I know the experience will never be the same. Having a group of players really helps speed up finding loot and gathering things together while exploring and making things generally more exciting, because, well, when you're facing a half-demon dog and you're trying to run away from it, it just tends to be a lot funnier. I could list off all the pros and cons to the game, but I honestly feel like people should be able to see some gameplay with the basic idea of what it is, and then just by that know if it's for them or not. There is one thing though that I really want to mention, and this is something that is very important because I feel like it would really help. I think the one thing this game really needs, for the sake of its own future, is the ability to mod it. Allowing players to make mods for the game and providing the tools to do so would not only help with the development, but it would also allow for more creative things to happen. Along with that, the moment you give the community the ability to create whatever they want, you've created something that has the potential to never die. Games like the original Star Wars Battlefront, like Battlefield 2, like Skyrim, they all live on today because of the community and the mods that keep them going and keep them fresh. If you build a strong modding community, you are essentially securing the future of your game. It allows it to live on for as long as the community want it to and are passionate about it. Not to even mention, it's basically free help in the development of your game. With such a strong community that Miscreated does have, even though it might be small, mods would only help to benefit everyone and help draw in different people to wanting to play the game, just due to the fact that who knows what people might create. To wrap everything up, I think this game will breathe in some new life to the survival genre just because of what it is and because of how long it's been in development, and not to even mention the fact that it's an early access game that's actually going into beta, which is something that very rarely happens. I think The Forest is another one of the few games that has actually made it all the way through, so it's just nice to see, generally speaking, that a team has stuck with it from the beginning all the way up to this point. Some people have said this game is dead, some people say it's stuck in development limbo, some people say it will never be finished, but I have a feeling it's only just started to show us what it really is capable of, and what the team behind it have learnt over the course of its development, and I can hardly wait to see what they do next. As always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. I've been meaning to cover this game for a very long time now, but with the 1.0 release, it felt like the right moment to do it. I would only recommend picking up this game if you're a fan of the genre and understand that it will take some time until the game is 100% completed. Stay subscribed for more, check out my channel for more Witcher content in Warframe, and until the next one, this has been Okayguv Bear, you go and have a very, very wonderful day. Mutant Madness.